Good morning, good morning, good morning again, everyone. It is still stupid o'clock, so a merry stupid o'clock to one and all. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, I'm doing the second video now. You'll see it on Friday so that, I don't have to kill myself tomorrow morning, all right? So we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we get going, a few of the usual disclaimers, all right? First off, you are going to see the link to this report. The second one, on the same day no less, about this DPPC confirmed investigation on abuse, right there in the description box alongside the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, and templates. Sign your name, click on your senator that's in seclusion, adversive therapy, and improper restraints in schools, okay? Kills people every year. Don't believe me? Google it. Alright? Also, we have the ever-present and self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Now, folks, when we talk about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? All right, now, folks, I may have already done the other video, which is sent out for today, but it is still 3:48 a.m. stupid o'clock in the morning. So if I stumble over any words or go off into explicitives, my apologies in advance, all right? So we're going back to where we left off a moment ago. Facts pertinent to the allegations investigated. This one is going to be short too, folks. ALV was seen with injuries to his face when he arrived to school on the morning of August 1st, 2016. Although these injuries were initially documented in the intake as bruising to both eyes, I1 clarified with nursing staff that it was bruising only to the left eye. Right eye had been noted incorrectly at first, and the later correction appears to be noted additional bruising. However, it was meant to just change location. The investigator observed a small bruise under ALV's left eye on August 3rd, 2016. ALV was treated earlier in the weekend for a swollen and cut lip. At the time, this was attributed to contact with his own tooth. Because we're going to, blame the victim first and foremost, God. ALV is not verbal and is unable to say what happened. I too began doing spot checks of video footage from the prior weekend and found an incident between ALAB and ALV in the upstairs hallway of the residence from the morning of July the 30th, 2016. I too noted that in this video footage, ALAB is seen striking out towards ALV in the face and the chest area multiple times. I too noted that the exact point of contact was not clear, but the sound was. I too said that this was over 10 times. At some point during which ALAB paused, appeared to look up for the presence of the camera, and then continued. My God. I too noted that ALAB appears to be prompting ALV with ALAB's foot at times when ALV is on the floor. Prompting with his foot? Well, that's a new one. ALV appears fearful in the footage, according to I2. A review of the footage confirms what I2 says. Yeah, you get a little fearful when somebody has you on the ground and is kicking you. Just saying. Video footage from 6:20 a.m. to 6:34 a.m. shows ALV running from his bedroom into the hallway of the residence, with ALV chasing after him and attempting to grab. ALV is then on the floor looking up at ALAB. ALAB tells ALV to get up, which ALV does, running toward the bedroom door. ALAB blocks the door and points down the hall saying, "Go," to ALV. ALV is again on the floor, and ALAB pushes or kicks ALV with his foot. ALV gets up and touches his lip. ALAB chases ALV down a small hallway and slaps at him. ALAB keeps pointing, monitoring for ALV to go to the bathroom. ALAB grabs ALV by the shirt and then pulls him to the floor. ALV appears to have a look of fear on his face at this point, quite different from how ALV looked when meeting with the investigator on August the 3rd, 2016, and according to I-4, different from ALV's normal behavior. I-4 viewed the footage and stated it was clear that ALV wanted to get away as he was scurrying on the floor. See one's report note from the speed with which ALV endeavored to escape ALAB, it was evident ALV was fearful. ALV then advances to ALV and kicks ALV's legs, swats at ALV, and kicks ALV in the buttocks. ALAB shuts the bedroom door. ALV remains on the floor, focused on ALAB and keeping his hand outstretched between himself and ALAB. ALV gets to his feet but remains close to the floor as ALAB motions to ALV with clothing in his hand. ALAB opens the bedroom door and motions for ALV to go in. As ALV then tries to move, ALV lunges at ALV and pushes him to the floor in a small hallway, hitting him multiple times and using both hands. Although ALAB blocks camera view of contact, there are at least 9 audible noises, which are consistent with ALAB's arm motions. ALAB then does look up briefly. ALV tries to get by ALAB. ALAB again hits ALV with 8 audible noises and ALV's head to the wall. ALV crawls past ALAB and ALAB prevents ALV from entering his room. ALAB is still pointed down the hall and says, "Go." ALAB kicks ALV's legs again. ALV rubs his face. ALAB begins talking to ALV. ALV rubs his face more and puts on his pants. ALAB said to ALV, "You want to go back to bed? Go," and points to ALV's bedroom. ALV gets up and enters the bedroom. ALAB closes the door and walks away. ALAB said that he was attempting to redirect ALV in the hall or to guide him. That's what you call guiding people. Really. By punching him and kicking him while he's down. ALAB said that ALV had peed his pants and he was trying to get him to go to the bathroom and change into clean clothes. ALAB said that ALV had touched him with a wet hand and that he was frustrated. ALAB denied hitting, smacking, or kicking ALV. He described that he was told by JRC not to do those things to residents. He said that his actions were not 100% the techniques he was taught, but that there was a lot of gray area. ALAB said that he had shoved ALV's hands to his chest because he was playing a game with him. That must be one hell of a game, asshole. ALAB stated he had seen the footage of the incident and acknowledged that he understood why there was concern. He said, "It did honestly look like I did hit him. Because you did, fucker." ALAB said he was, however, attempting to guide ALV or attempting to redirect ALV's wet fingers and hands from him. He also mentioned concern that ALV might bite him. I hope he did. ALAB was asked if he could have accidentally used more force than necessary, and he stated he had not. I-1, I-2, and I-3 had each viewed the footage of the incident. None of them felt that ALAB's actions were consistent with JRC training or student redirection. I-10 described that ALV was usually easy to redirect. If you rub him on his head, which he likes, this is described within ALV's behavior plan as well. ALAB was one of the 6 staff working in the house on that particular shift. The others were I-5, I-6, I-8, I-10, and R1. ALAB said he had not asked others for help at any point. According to I-3, who had watched the footage of the rest of the house during the same time frame, the other staff were mainly in the den area just down the stairs from the hallway where the incident took place, and the staff were not there or working as one-to-one aides with other residents in different parts of the house. None of the other staff interviewed recalled hearing anything of concern on the shift or seeing anything that could have caused injury to ALV. Same like with the last one on the same day. Anyone surprised? I5 said he was with another student in a different part of the house. I6 said he had seen a red scratch mark on ALV's right jaw at his shower time on the morning of July the 30th. He said that he told I8 about it and was told to document it. I6 noted this on ALV's health sheet as a new mark on face and new visible marks on the lower left side of ALV's back and chest. I8 said that he believed ALV had woken up with marks and that he had not asked ALAB about them, as ALAB was already gone when I8 became aware of the marks. I8 said he would not have been able to hear the upper hallway from where he was in the den area. I8 said he had informed DVR monitoring staff of the injury. I11 said that she believed staff told her that ALV caught his lip on his own tooth, and she noted slight swelling to his right lip. Oh, for the love of God, I love all your victim-blaming bullshit until, you get caught with your hand in a cookie jar and you have to do damage control. I10 said she was told they were outside playing basketball, and when she asked which staff saw this happen, none had. I10 said that he had given ALV a shower one day that weekend, record shows was July the 31st, and that he had noticed blood in ALV's mouth. I10 said that ALAB was with ALV before I10 was, and he asked why there was blood, but ALAB did not know and told I10 to report it. I10 also documented it on the health form. I10 appears to be the staff who enters the upstairs hallway as the incident is ending. I10 did not recall seeing anything of concern or having any discussion with ALAB at the time. Probably because you're so used to seeing students distressed that it didn't even register to you. I10 said that he'd seen nothing of concern or he would have reported it. R2 and R3 were also seen with unexplained bruising on their faces on August 1st, 2016. Concerning video footage involved ALB, and both was found later and reported on August 8th, 2016. Video footage shows ALAB take R2 into a closet in his bedroom just before the incident and clearly runs past ALAB to get away from him. The full details of this are in DPPC case 148305. In brief, shortly after the incident with ALAB takes R3 to a downstairs bathroom, puts him into the far end of the large shower stall, pulls the curtain partially, and ALAB strikes R3 several times in the face. R3 exits crying, touching his face. ALAB guides him to the shower again and does this again. R3 exits crying again. When the interview by C1 about this original allegation with ALAB had denied that he had worked with R2 or R3 that morning. He was unaware of additional footage had already been found. When asked how it would look, additional footage showed him interacting with these other clients in a similar manner. ALAB said that it would look bad. Also, ALAB stated that there was no such footage to be found. Oh, but there was. When interviewed by the investigator the day following that the first interview with C1, LAB was shown footage with R3 and said that he was trying to put the shower hose in R3's hand in the first interaction. I3 confirmed that the shower hose was to the other end of the shower stall, and he was trying to push ALV to the hose in the second interaction. Neither instance shows contact with the shower hose. ALAB said he brought ALV to the shower clothes to cue him to take his clothes off. I10 said R3 complies very quickly and knows to put his own dirty clothes in the basket. I10 said he had never had such a hard time with R3. Based on the totality of the evidence, it is more than most likely that not that the ALAB's actions of striking out towards ALV caused bruising to ALV's face and swelling bleeding to his lip, and that these actions also caused ALV to react fearfully and scurrying away from ALAB, described by I2, C1, and I4, who in particular described this as not typical for ALV. No other staff working with ALB could explain the injuries. Even the unlikely event that these actions had not caused physical or emotional injury, the sound of the hits and ALB's reaction show that ALAB's action was also an application of physical force that would cause reasonable person pain. Further, I-1, I-2, and I-3 each reviewed the footage of the incident, and none of them felt that ALAB's actions were consistent with JRC training or student redirection. In other words, same staff member, same day, same similar behavior. And you notice the constant delay that these staff members have in reporting possible abuse because they are so used to victim blaming. Notice that they never seem to notice anything is wrong, in spite of someone looking like they are in obvious distress, mainly probably because they are used to seeing it. Just interesting things to note. And on that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.